Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Selling Gods video. In today's video, I'm going to show you something really exciting, and that's going to be my team for the Grave of Curse on stage 20 on day 7 of season 2. You heard that right. It's day 7 and I can already farm Grave of Curse stage 20. But you know what? This team is nothing too special. It's pretty much the same team that I used in the past. I'm just going to show you the builds that I have, so you can see if you can use the same team yourself. Plus, I'm gonna give you some option for replacements for some of the teams. So let's get into this one. Now, before I jump into the video, I do want to mention that if you want to support me as a content creator, you can use code OddOne, as you can see over there at the top. You can find that by going into the link. There's going to be a link in the description of the video. You click that, and then it takes you to a page where you put code OddOne with capital O's. As you can see, you're going to get some rewards instantly. But then after that, you can DM me on Discord, as I have hundreds of promo codes to give out to give you Healer Light, Swarm Arrow. So definitely make sure you do that. Also, don't forget there's another link in the description where you can support me for the Gala of Creators. If you do want to do that, you can vote daily. I would appreciate it. But I guess let's get into this team and let's get into this video. So stage 20, day 7, and it's pretty much the team that I got used to, right? That I got you all used to. I showed this in the past, and it kind of has the same core and the same 2 units that kind of make this fight be extremely easy. And those 2 units are going to be Zephy, first of all, right, for the block damage. This is what makes it busted, right? Zephy puts the invincibility, which pretty much means when the boss does the AoE hit, we're not going to be dying, right? Everybody, doesn't matter how low they get, they will not be dying. The only one that might be in trouble of dying if he takes too many hits is going to be Urion, because obviously the boss does single target hits up until he gets to the ultimate where he does full board damage. So that's something worth keeping in mind. And pretty much these are the 2 main ones, and then I'm using my wild team. Now, the wild team is not mandatory, right? I do have Flora with her exclusive artifact, and I'm using Casper as another damage dealer. And then obviously Felicity is going to be the one that is going to be wearing the Witch's Remains, right? Because you definitely want to have that defense penalty so you can do as much damage to the boss as possible just to be able to take it down. But as you saw, that block damage was cast and pretty much we managed to survive, right? There's nothing to, the boss didn't quite kill us. The only thing that might be slight RNG is if the boss removes the invincibility from Urion like now, right? See, like that, boom, and there we go. It seems like that's the only bad RNG that can happen. Obviously, you gotta keep in mind that the way that this one works is kind of like, you have a certain percentage chance for the boss to remove it, because you see that when Urion does his ultimate, he puts up some other buffs alongside the buffs that Zephy puts and all that. There's kind of like, 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 chance that the boss removes that invincibility. Now, the cool thing about this is the fact that even if the boss does remove it once, if you do manage to not proc your passive from Urion, as you saw it happen for me, right? I didn't proc it yet. That gives you another layer of survivability, because you kind of have like two ways of surviving. The invincibility that Zephy puts, and then the invincibility that Urion puts on himself from the ultimate. You kind of only get hit by the boss while you have nothing over here at the beginning, and then at the end, after the AoE, the full board damage happens. Again, you see we have 3 buffs. Let's see which one does the boss remove it. But the cool thing is, okay, he removed the block damage, the invincibility, but as you can see this time around, he still had his passive available. So that's something that, made it be a little bit easier. Now, it's all going to be a little bit of a damage race with this one. Can you kill the boss fast enough before he removes, all of your buffs, before he kills you yourself? Do you get enough wild procs to kill the boss, and so on? Now, the team that I believe would work a lot better in this fight would actually be an Ice Blast team, right? If you have an Ice Blast team, if you have, Sheena, Zorak, then Beldel, ideally, this might be a little bit better. The reason for that is because if you'd have those 3 alongside Urion, Urion would be part of the elemental synergy, which means he's gonna get more stats, more attack, more defense, therefore he's gonna survive more. You saw he got the invincibility removed, but guess what? His passive procced again, and now we're good to go. So yeah, that's something definitely worth keeping in mind, because right now my Yurion doesn't get any damage bonus from the elemental synergy as he's outside of synergy. Same thing with Zephy. But still, even with that, you saw, you know, one time it failed, another time it worked. Still, stage 20 in 2 minutes, 7 days in. This is a pretty good team, and it's pretty fun fight. So you see the main damage dealers, Flora, 60, almost 69%, 22.6 Casper, a little bit from Felicity, a little bit from the other two. And that's pretty much the team, right? Let me show you, I guess, the timings, because these are really important. So the reason I'm saying these timings are really important is because the main one that's extremely important to have specific timings is going to be Zephy. You want to make sure Zephy does the ultimate at 10 seconds or as close to that 10 seconds as possible. Even though you see that it says 11.8 over here, I have the hourglass on her, and she pretty much gets another 90 skill haste. So that makes her be able to do it earlier. But you see that every 10 seconds, and first cast at 10 seconds, then every 18 seconds, and then you should be good to go. You saw that it always lands just about the right time. Then when it comes to damage dealers, if you have Puppeteer set, then you go every 18 seconds. If you don't, then obviously every 20 seconds. I currently don't have Puppeteer, so that's why you see it happens like this. But the way you want to make them go is Flora first, Casper second, and then Felicity last. I personally don't let Felicity go full YOLO, because I want to make sure I have those defense penalties landed on the boss from Felicity when the vortex explodes and does a massive amount of damage. And then when it comes to Yurion, he pretty much goes full YOLO. Now, let me show you the build, and I guess at the end of this, I'm gonna try and put my Ice Blast team instead, right? Even though I don't have Beldel, I'm gonna use Gerthin instead and see if it works with Sheena and Zora. I can see if that works. But for now, let's look at the talents. This is what I went for with for Yurion. Then Zephy went on the top side. Then Casper went this way. It's a really cool thing that right now you can just go and change specific talents, right? This season you don't have to go specifically in a line. You can just swap, mix and match, right? Go wherever you want. And it's a, you know, it's a really cool thing. I like the way that they did it. Then Felicity, I just have the first two. And then Flora, I have her go at the bottom first to get more attack, the more she does the ultimate. And then at the top, so she gets more damage every time she procs a wild that's 5 or higher. Now, let's look at the builds. When it comes to Yurion, he's running... Oh, this is a mistake. I don't even have this at 16. This is at 12. But I'm using for Yurion Drogo's Blast Charge, so you can try and mitigate some of the boss's damage. But if you don't have this one, you can always go with Scarab Amulet. This can be really good. Just give him a ton of defense, because he can put himself some shields if this happens, right? If he drops under 30%. Or you can try and go with Mask of the Lark, so he will take less damage the more buffs he has. And he has buffs from himself, he has buffs from Zephy, so you know, there's gonna be quite a few buffs out there. Then you're gonna see I went with defense percent, HP percent, and whatever gives me the most HP percent and defense percent to keep him alive. And then for the positive rune, I have an HP one with, you know, whatever stats I had available. Then Zephy is running, like I mentioned, Rift Hourglass. Whatever artifact, whatever positive rune I had here, they gave me some skill haste, I guess that's good. Then I did build Zephy in a Brotherhood Spirit. Now, ideally, if you can get Zephy to be over 240 accuracy, pretty much to have enough, let me check exactly how much you need. Pretty much to make sure you get close to 300 accuracy. If you can do that, for Zephy, that's going to be better, because what Zephy does is not only, you know, she not only brings defense up and then invincibility on the ultimate, but she can remove the buffs that the boss puts on himself with the battle skill. And if you do that, that means Yurion has a higher chance of surviving. So definitely keep that in mind. You might not mandatorily need this. Maybe you're just better off give Zephy the accuracy to try and get close to 300. Keep in mind she's not part of the synergy for this team, so you need to hit the 300 mark in order to be able to land that stuff. Then we have Casper. I actually gave him the Flame Tongue to give him some crit rate and crit damage glove, attack percent chance, and I kind of completed a Forbidden Aegis, even though it's not ideal, because you see 3 flat HP over here, then some attack percent crit damage, and then this one's pretty decent. Triple crit rate, and then defense, because, you know, I didn't have anything better. Then if you look at Felicity, Felicity is running, like I mentioned, Witch's Remains with some attack and some accuracy. That's why I gave this one for the accuracy. Then crit damage glove, I would prefer crit rate, just I wanted to complete the Emissary Whisper on her, so that she gives more damage boost every time she lands a debuff, which she does on her ultimate plus Witch's Remains. Then accuracy over here, obviously to get close to 300. For her, I can go like 270 because I have 30 from the Elemental Affinity. Then whatever crit rate, accuracy I can get over here. And then the last one, which is going to be Flora, full enlightenment as attack as much as I could with her exclusive artifact. I did give her this piece of gear because, you know, it says at the start of battle, wearer gains an attack bonus equal to 20% of the attack of the ally with the highest attack, excluding obviously herself. So this is the one I went for now. If you have something that gives you lots of enlightenment and attack percent, so, you know, something like this, that might be better, right? I might have to try that myself, but for now, that's what I have. Then chest plate with enlightenment and attack percent glove with enlightenment, and then I have a triple enlightenment over here, which is pretty good. And then this one is a flat attack with attack percent because I do not have an enlightenment one yet. Now, obviously, tomorrow, right on day 8, we should be having our gear come from previous season, so it should become a lot easier to do that because, you know, if you saved at least the piece of gear like I did, I have an attack percent glove with quad enlightenment that's going to be ready for her. That's going to be really cool. Then there's going to be a crit rate glove for my Casper. Then this one's going to be good for Casper as well. And then the chest plate again, you know, pretty much just pumping lots of damage for Casper. But that's pretty much the team. I guess let me quickly try and swap the team over, right? Let me try and just get the gear on my Ice Blast people and see how it goes. See if it becomes a lot easier for my team to survive. Or if I, you know, especially not necessarily my whole team, but especially Urian because he's the main one. So let me do the swap around and then I'm going to come back, I guess, towards the end if this works or not. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I keep trying this, but it kind of seems like, you know, without having Beldel, I don't quite kill the boss fast enough. And the reality is, like I mentioned, if you don't kill the boss fast enough, there's higher probability and high chance that he does remove with his ultimate the invincibility from Urian, which will obviously make the team fail. So that's something that's worth keeping in mind, right? Use whoever are going to be your best damage dealers, specifically your best single target damage dealers in the 3 spots that I showed, so that you can kill the boss as fast as possible. Because again, you know, it's a little bit of RNG up until we get higher stats, up until we get higher talents and whatnot, but it gets pretty close, right? It gets like to the point where there's 15-20% HP on the boss left, and he just unfortunately procs the, you know, removes the invincibility, and we kind of fail it, right? It's like, okay, you do have this passive from Urian, but if the boss removes the invincibility back to back, then Urian cannot proc his passive, which means the team's gonna fail. But pretty much this is it, right? This is the team, this is the fight, and you know what? It's a pretty fun one, and I personally did not expect on day 7 to already be able to get to stage 20 of this. It does require, again, some specific artifacts, some you know, some specific stuff. These two 100% heroes, Zephyr and Urian, are kind of key to be able to survive this, because without them, again, it's kind of difficult to like get the rotation. You can try to bring some buff removal, some decrease attack, just, you know what, you might need too many things as opposed to just having Zephyr and Urian and you're good to go. And it kind of seems that this fight might finally work, right? Yeah, there we go. See, so it does work with what's the name, Gerthin, Sheena, and Zorak as the damage dealer. So, you know, you got options. If you got a good Dauntless team, bring your good Dauntless team, right? Again, whichever is your best single target damage team, that's what you bring in this fight. But yeah, you see, it worked and it's a fun team. But anyway, we're gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next. Don't forget to use code OddOne to support me as a content creator. You know, costs you nothing, helps me a ton. And I guess I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.